Hey guys, it's Ash, and in the previous video I showed you guys how much I farmed in 1 hour with GBAM, Giants, Barbarians, and Minions with 4 barracks boosted, and now I'm going to show you guys how much I farm with 2 barracks boosted instead. And the method I'm going to be using for this composition is Barbarians, 2 barracks Barbarians, 2 barracks Archers, and 2 Dark Elixir barracks full of Minions. I'll be training one barrack. I'll be boosting one barrack with barbs and another barrack with archers, so I get an even distribution of them. And since those 2 barracks are being boosted, I should be able to get a army composition without too many minions because barbarians and archers will be trading faster. So I will be keeping track during this 1 hour session. I'm starting with about 1,000,000 gold, 3.9 million elixir, and about 81,000 dark elixir. So let's see how much I make. And hopefully you learn a lot from this as well. I'll try to explain as much as I can. Okay, looks like a great find here. Right, you know what? I'm just gonna put a. Okay, that Expo is not dead. Alright, I'm gonna spawn barbarians and then archers behind them, using 2 fingers on each hand. And now I'm using one hand with 3 fingers on there. And here, I'm just gonna swipe with 2 fingers and sweep. So as you can see, the different deployment methods I use. And I will get more into that in the future videos. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do that so that you guys can replicate what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to break in right there. He still has a lot of loot there. Barbarians and the rest of my minions, and I'll send in my Clan Castle troops as well, because he has a bunch of resources. All I need to do is basically get in that core. And the reason I attacked this base is because he has wizard towers that are really weak, mortars really weak, so my archers and barbarians can live longer, and what that means is that they're going to be able to wreck the base much better. And I don't want my king to get further damaged, so I'm just gonna quit right there since his health is important, and I'll get him back in about 22 minutes. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't really use the Barbarian King much for farming. He's not that great for farming. The Archer Queen is much more important. Like in the last video, I didn't even use my Barbarian King to make that 5 million total resource in 1 hour. All I used was my Archer Queen. And I'm gonna be cooking only rage spells again. I had heal spells. I sometimes like to carry heal spells to keep my heroes healthy, since they're really high level. It's a good idea to bring them back to life, because as you can see, even though my king was about at 75% or 80% health, I still have to wait about 21 minutes. Okay, I currently have 114 troops. It doesn't matter. I'm going to start nexting. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to try and see if I can find anything, and after about a minute, I'm going to come back to my base, because my barracks are training. They're still training troops, even though I'm searching right now. My barracks are still training troops, so it's always a good idea to keep searching for whatever you can find, and anything easy. If there's a gold storage outside, maybe you can just quickly snipe it with the Archer Queen. Okay, I could do it right here, but it's gonna require a lot of effort. He has powerful defenses, so it's gonna require a bunch of barbarians, archers, and then I'm gonna have to send in queen. It's not worth it. I'm only gonna be able to get about 150k gold and about 50k, not 50k, like about 75,000 elixir. Yeah, so it's better to just save my army and then find something better instead. So at the moment, I'm just looking for dead bases. And if you're farming Dark Elixir for Dark Elixir as well, then you definitely don't want to waste time not searching, because it's the Silver League. You don't need trophies. You can just drop trophies anytime. Like right here, I'm just gonna send in Queen and drop trophies. It doesn't really matter as I come back to my base. And I currently have 160 troops. And since those barracks are boosting, those are the barracks you want to constantly fill. You want to constantly refill these barracks, because they're going to be training troops very fast. So as I was saying, yeah, if you're farming for Dark Elixir as well, you just want to keep searching. And if you do that, you're going to make Dark Elixir so much more faster in the Silver League if you use this method of just searching and then finding like a collector. Obviously this collector is empty, but if you can keep searching like that, and then using an Archer Queen to go for a quick snipe. See right here, I can just go for that Dark Elixir quickly. There's a lot of collectors right here. There's a Tesla right there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna send in the Barbarian. Now here's the idea here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the Teslas first. I'm just gonna focus on the Teslas and nothing else, because there's one interesting thing you can see here, is that the only defense around this area to target your minions are the Teslas. So I'm just gonna send in a bunch of minions right there to get all the resource, and that's all I'm gonna be focusing on. I didn't even use many troops. You don't want to, when you find a base like this, you don't want to use too many of your troops, because they require camp space. It looks like Reflector went down somehow. Hold on. Yeah, really apologize for that. Trying to get it fit. Okay, sorry about that. That sometimes happens. Hopefully there's no more interruptions like this. So I'm gonna refill my barracks again. Alright, camp is now full. And that's fine. So let's go back and next. So yeah, basically in the last raid, my minions basically took everything, and I didn't use too many troops. That's why I came back to camp, and I was able to fill up my camp pretty quickly. So yeah, save as much troops as you can. Only use as many troops as you need. Don't recklessly just throw away all your troops, because that's gonna decrease your efficiency. It's gonna decrease how fast you're gonna make golden elixir in such a 1-hour session like this. So yeah, since I'm using barbarians, archers, and minions without any giants or wall breakers, I'll be focusing less on attacking storages and more on collectors. Now this is a really weak base, full of level 5 walls, so it's gonna be pretty easy to take these collectors, as he also has weak wizard towers. Okay, that elixir collector looks loaded, and those 2 lines as well. So I'm gonna send in, check for any air traps. Okay, there's air traps right there. Okay, it doesn't matter. My archers are still gonna take that. And it looks like I didn't even have to use my Arch Queen, but I will use her because of those storages right there. But remove that mortar. Looks like he has airbomb right there. Okay, send in the rest of my minions. Not rest. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna wait for my queen. I'm not gonna send in my minions yet. I'm gonna remove that cannon first. It's gone. And now I'm not gonna send in my minions yet. Not yet. If I don't have to use them, I'm not gonna use them. So yeah, don't have to use them. So yeah, it's a good thing I didn't. I saved 14 camp space, and I saved about 70 Dark Elixir just by not sending those minions. So make sure if you need to use them or you don't, because without using them, if you recklessly use them, then you're just decreasing your efficiency. And another important reason I didn't use the minions is because I knew that there was a wizard tower right there on the other far right side. There were Teslas, so if my Archer Queen did wander off that way, I would have sent in my minions to act as a shield against those Teslas, as my minions could have distracted the Teslas as my Archer Queen shot the elixir storage. So yeah, that's another strategy that you want to use. You don't want to just recklessly deploy all your troops. You can use them for shield, to protect your heroes, to protect your Archer Queen mainly. BAM, Barbarians, Archers, Minions are excellent for shielding the Archer Queen against point defenses. The Queen doesn't really care much about mortars and wizard towers. The main threat against the Archer Queen are point defenses, and point defenses are defenses that only target one troop at a time, and they deal most of the damage that way. Point defenses are archer towers, cannons, mortars. Not mortars are splash defenses. My bad. Get distracted from this rate. So basically what I did right there was just quickly snipe as I was searching. I did not waste any troops. I just sent in my queen, and I took about 47,000 elixir right there. I just have to wait a minute. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, as I was saying, what was I talking about? I just forgot. It'll come back to me. I was talking about something about using, oh yeah, Barch and minions, to use them as a shield against threats such as point defense threats such as cannons, archer towers, Teslas, and Expos. Those are all point defense threats. Archer tower, Expos, and cannon and Teslas. Those are the point defense threats. Those defenses will deal the most damage to your Archer Queen and your Barbarian King. And the best way to defend against them is using a bunch of Barbarians, Archers, and Minions to distract them, because they can only focus on one of those. And that's why the main threat to this composition, to this BAM composition, are splash defenses, wizard towers, and mortars primarily. And then the other threats are the traps, the giant bombs, and the air bombs. Those are the biggest threats. Splash defenses and the traps. Everything else you don't have to worry about. In fact, if there was a base, for example, if this base did not have mortars or wizard towers, I can just send in all my barbarians and archers and easily 100% him. And yeah, I'm not lying about that. And also if he didn't have his giant bombs active as well, or if he placed them badly, like outside a base, then I could easily 3-star him with just my barbarians and archers. And the reason for that is because they overwhelm point defenses. Point defenses can't keep up, as they can only target one of them at a time, and there's 200, and I have 240 cannon space, so I have 240 of them if I was using only barbarians and archers. So yeah, the main threats you want to focus on are the wizard towers and the mortars. So that's the first thing I always look at when I'm searching for a base. Like if I found a base like mine right here, I would definitely not attack this base because of the level 8 wizard towers and level 7 mortars. So yeah, that's why if you're a rushed base, if your base is really, if your base has weak defenses for your town hall level, and you're farming a lot, then you should focus on your splash defenses first, mainly your wizard tower. Get your mortar to level 7. A level 7 mortar, one hit KOs. It knocks out level 7 archers in one shot. That's why level 7 mortar is very important for defending for defending against other farmers. And wizard towers as well. Make sure your wizard tower is at least level 6, so you can defend against level 6 Barch as well. This guy has his collectors inside. Active heroes. The good thing is that he has his wizard towers right inside the core. So what I could do is I could avoid the core. So this one I'm going to try to do. Clan Castle has a lot of HP, so it's going to be annoying trying to take that thing down in time. Okay, I'm going to start by removing that laboratory right there. Remove that barrack right there. Remove these. Okay, looks like that mortar's in range. Okay, now I'm going to spread out my barbarians and archers on all sides. First I basically spreaded out my barbarians around. I'm gonna take those exposed mortars out with my minions. Right, they're out. Okay, and on this side I'm just gonna send in my archers out, and then my minions all out right there. And on this side I'm gonna be focusing with my archer queen. I'm gonna send in the Clan Castle. The Clan Castle troops are basically just gonna act as extra meat shield and troops to basically extra shield for my queen, because as I've stated, Barch is excellent for shielding the archer. So yeah, basically I did get most of his collectors outside the base. I was not able to get, probably not gonna be able to get everything because he has his collectors inside, his storage is inside. I still did get a good amount. So I might be able to get that gold storage as well. No, the cannon's targeting. I'm just gonna have to end right there. It's just taking it out. So I did get a lot of resource. So it's all good. If I had used giants with Barch, then I probably would have gotten everything. But since I'm boosting with only 2 barracks, I'm not using giants with BAM like I did in the previous video that I shared with you guys, where I boosted 4 barracks. Because it would just not be as efficient. I would not be able to get an army as quickly, and even if I did waited longer for a giant for giants and for giants and wall breakers, I would have only gotten about 100,000 more. So I got about 460k. There was about 600k. So yeah, it's more. What's more important is time. Time is more important than just 100,000. 100,000 of total resource. So yeah, in the long term, I'll be making more since I'm using BAM instead of giants with wall breakers and BAM, because they will slow you down. Obviously I would be making resource faster if I was boosting all 4 of my barracks with BAM as well. But I'm hoping to make just as much as I did previously with just BAM and just 2 barracks boosted, but that's probably not gonna happen. But we'll see. This is the first time I've been actually experimenting it. I usually rarely attack with GBAM and 4 barracks boosted. I mainly just do BAM because BAM just takes really quick to train, and yeah, if you know how to raid storages with them, then you can effectively make loot really fast. So I have 145 troops. I think that's enough, so I'm gonna start next thing. I'm gonna start searching for whatever I can find. So yeah, it's been about 20 minutes right now, and looking at my progress, I've made about 700k gold and 700k elixir in total. So I'm on the right track. So multiply that by 3 and I'll have about hold on. Okay, I forgot that I only had about 140 troops because I was talking, I was distracted. I was distracting myself, but hopefully I can get something here. Yeah, as you guys can see, I'm not used to multitasking. I'm not used to talking and raiding at the same time. So I quickly forgot that I only had about 140 troops. Because it requires a lot of focus. Like, you have to really think. The reason I targeted this base is because I saw a bunch of gold in the gold right there, so I would have definitely gotten that with the rage spell and a bunch of barbarians and archers. I just did not have enough of them. And because he had collectors outside the base. So yeah, that was basically the problem here. I did get 120k with about 140 troops, so it's not too bad. I definitely would not have attacked it though, if I had remembered that I only had about 140 troops. So yeah, I'm on track for about for 1.4 times 3, yeah, about 4 million in total, which is great. So if I can keep going and not make silly mistakes like I just did right there, yeah, as I was saying, it requires a lot of focus. Yeah, you really shouldn't be multitasking like me, like. While doing something like this, you shouldn't be talking or doing a live video because that's just gonna slow you down. But obviously I'm doing it to teach you guys, so whatever. So again, looking at the replay, the reason I chose to attack this base is because the more Inferno towers right on the left and right side, and they're only level 1. So I could have gotten all the elixir collectors right there, gold mines, could have definitely gotten that. If I had an Archer Queen, I would have definitely got in the gold storages even without a full army. But yeah, I did not have a full army, or else I would have basically taken out those wizard towers and mortars first, send in minions over the walls, take them out, and once I've taken them out, it's gonna be really easy to just send in my barbarians and archers and get the gold storages. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it because I did not have a full army. So you never attack a storage base without a full army. The reason I'm going to start searching right now and see if I can find any resource is if the resource is outside the base. I'm not going to attack it. Like here, I'm not going to attack this base because he has the storages inside and I only have about 120 troops. So yeah, right here he has his collectors inside the base and that sucks, but again, I only have 120 troops. Okay, let's try to strategize here. I'm gonna try to strategize as much as I can with those 112 troops. So what I'm gonna be doing right here, send one minion out here. It's out of that range from that air defense. I'm gonna send in 2 archers right there to remove that D drill. Another archer there, remove that. Move that out of the way. 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 Yep, remove that. There are cannons right there. I believe I can still avoid it. Yeah, there we go. Put an archer right there. And now that wizard tower is right there exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in 1, 2, 3 barbarians, 2 archers. There's a Tesla right there, so I'm going to have to send in more barbarians now. And hopefully take both of them out. It's only a level 1 Tesla. The Barbarian King distracted them. Okay, doesn't matter. It's a Tesla, so I don't have to worry much because the Tesla, as I've stated, is a point defense. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm gonna now spread out my barbarians. I'm only gonna focus on this side. I'm not gonna focus on the back side because I don't have enough troops to take everything. So I'm only gonna focus on as much as I can steal. So I basically spread them out so I can distract that wizard tower. And I'm gonna send in my minions of the walls here. I do have my archer queen, which I may use right here to get those two collectors at the end. Unless if I can get that instead right there. I do have my Clan Castle troops. Yeah, what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to send them in right here. I'm going to send in my archer. So I can get all 5 of these collectors possibly. Unfortunately, my Clan Castle troops only had about 5 archers in them, so yeah, not enough shield, so I might not get as much collectors. But my queen is very strong. She's level 40. She can take a hit. And looks like now I have to activate her ability. And that's as much as I can get with the 140 troops. So I got about a total of about 210 plus 130, so that's 340k. I got a total of 340,000 with just 120 troops. So that's very good. And that's called efficiency. And using a small army to get as much as you can. So I did get most of the resource in that dead base, even though the collectors are inside. My main priority are collectors that are outside the base, while I'm attacking without a full army. If I did have a full army, I wouldn't mind attacking storages or collectors inside a base if the defenses were that weak. So again, I only have 117 troops. Go back to search. The only reason, the reason I'm searching is if I can find dead bases like that, and if I can get the resource with just a few troops. If I can't, it doesn't hurt not to search. I can just come back to my base and come back to more troops. I'll have more troops by then. So it never hurts to keep searching. Obviously, if your camp is full, you don't want to come back to your base. You want to never come back to your base if your camp is full. That guy had Inferno Towers level 3 right in the core, so I'm not going to attack him. Alright, here we go. A bunch of resources outside the base. These are maxed out collectors level 12. Alright, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on one side at a time. Use 2 fingers to double tap and spawn troops twice as fast so you can distract defenses better and at the same time deal more damage as well. Deal more damage. Alright, right here, I'm gonna use 3 fingers twice. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's see, do I need extra barbarians? I need them right there. There's a wizard tower there though, so I'm gonna have to send in archers. And then I'm gonna send in extra barbarians right there. That gold mine is almost done for. No point in wasting more troops right there because even if I only used about 2 barbarians there, it's not going to be able to stop the cannon, Tesla, and wizard tower defense right there. So no point in going for more right there. Instead, I'm going to attack these collectors right here. And collector right there. So I pretty much got all the collectors outside the base, and I only used about 116 troops, so it's all good. Obviously I'm not going for trophies, so I'm just gonna surrender right there. And I got 320,000 in total resource with only 116 troops. And that's called efficiency. Alright, Clan Castle is empty, so I have to remember that in 3 minutes I'm going to have to request again, unless if my camp is full. You don't want to just come back to your base just to refill your clan castle. And you also don't want to wait a while when you're requesting for troops. If your camp is full, then go straight to attacking. Don't wait for a full clan castle. You don't really need to use your clan castle much. As you can see, I rarely use my clan castle in raids. I used one right there, and in these raids, one right there. So out of these 10 raids, I only used my clan castle 3 times. So yeah, you're not using your clan castle much, and the only time I'm using my clan castle is as last resort. I don't use it straight away unless if I don't have enough troops and if I'm attacking a storage base, if I'm attacking the inside of a base. Otherwise, I use my clan castle as last resort for my archer queen. I use them as a shield for my archer queen. I use these troops to not only deal some damages outside, but also act as a shield for my archer queen. Okay, I have 120 troops. Let's start searching. So yeah, currently we're at the halfway mark, and I've made about over 1 million elixir and over 1 million gold. Obviously, I lost some elixir by cooking these level 7 troops. They cost a lot to train, and since I'm a Town Hall 10, I have to pay 1,000 gold per next. So I am losing some resource. So I'm actually making more than I am as depicted, but that's 2 million in about 30 minutes. So we're on track to 4 million in 1 hour with BAM and just 2 barracks boosted. As for Dark Elixir, I've only managed to make about 2,500 Dark Elixir in 30 minutes. So yeah, maybe in 1 hour I'll make about 5,000, but I'm not really focusing on Dark Elixir. I'm focusing just on Golden Elixir, and that's what this video is about, Golden Elixir. If you're interested in Dark Elixir farming, check out my Dark Elixir farming videos. I have a bunch of them on my level 40 to the journey to level 40 heroes, and I also have a Dark Elixir guide. I'll link that in the descriptions below for you guys if you guys aren't aware of that and are interested in that. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my base. As you can see, I didn't find much. So after a couple of nights, I came back, and now I'm at 185 troops. Now what I'm going to do is I can request right now, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go back to search. I'm not going to refill my barracks because I'm going to want to come back to my base soon again, so I can get a full army if I don't find anything right now. So there's no point in refilling my barracks and then coming back and then refilling them again. I can just come back and refill because I have enough troops already trained and already queued in the barracks. Okay, here's the storage base. This is an easy storage base to attack with giants, with Barge, because of his really weak wizard towers. But it's a really bad base to attack with BAM because look, centralized air defenses, centralized mortars. Whenever there are mortars centralized, it's a horrible base to attack. It's a horrible base to attack with Barge because you can't attack a storage base if the splash defenses are in the center with Barge or BAM. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my base. Okay, we're at 225, so I'm just gonna wait for a full army now as I refill my barracks. This is barbarians. Archers, barbarians, archers, barbarians. And let's refill that. I'm not really worried about training too many minions. As you can see, I only have 20 of them. which is good enough for Dark Elixir farming efficiency. And the main reason I'm training minions is not just because of the versatility they provide or how effective they are, but mainly because it increases efficiency. It increases the speed that you'll get a full army in time, or a faster army to raid with, and that's why I cook minions. Because I get to do more raids in less time, and more raids in less time means more loot. As long as you can get the loot. So it's a lot about mastering the attack strategy, mastering it, and properly attacking a base. It's not just about knowing what to do, it's being able to do it. So again, the collectors outside here, they're not on the bottom, so I'm not going to be focusing on the bottom at all. I'm just going to be focusing on top. That's why I sent out all my archers and barbarians, and I'm pretty sure that's all I need. Alright, he has some loot in those storages, so I'm going to be able to get some of that. Probably not all of it. I'm going to wait until my archers have taken out that air defense right there, and now I'm going to send in my minions. First I'm going to send 4 of them to possibly check for air bombs, see if the air bombs right there, and I'm going to send in the rest of them. And I'm going to send in my king, because the only defense that's going to really scratch him are those expos right there. So maybe he can distract expos, or maybe not. Looks like he's going that way, but he might be able to get that gold storage. Okay, he's distracted by that skeleton. Okay, as you can see, level 1 expo is really weak, not even scratching him, and that mortar is not doing much. And that's all I'm going to take, and I'm going to go. I only got about 280,000, but it's fine. As long as you get a total of about at least 300,000, it's a good raid. I got 280,000 right there. I thought there was more loot in the collectors. It's really hard to tell with level 12 collectors, because sometimes they look like they're a lot more than there is. So as you can see in that replay, that I'm gonna show you why. But 280k is not that far from 300k, so it's not that bad. So I knew that even if those collectors weren't as full as I'm predicting as they were, I'm still gonna be able to get a lot of resource. So as you can see, those storages look pretty empty, so it's really hard to tell how much exactly there are in these collectors, because even at this image right here, it's sometimes there's a lot more than what meets the eyes. So 113. Let's go for at least 120 before I start looking for something. 117, well, whatever. I'm just gonna search, just because there's no point in waiting. If I can just find something and quickly snipe it with my Archer Queen, maybe. 180k gold. And look, as I was saying, first I'm gonna check for any bombs or traps right there. Okay, I'm gonna send in like 2 barbarians right there, 2 archers right there each, and then send in my queen. And I'm gonna activate her ability. And boom, boom, boom. Now I'm just gonna surrender. And there we go. I got 59,000 gold, and I only used about 10 troops. So I'm at 128 now. So as you can see, I didn't really waste anything. I just got 59,000 gold off the bat right there. I did harm my queen a little. I probably should have been more. I probably should have been more aware of that and activated her ability earlier. But you learn from your mistakes, and that's how you improve. So yeah, next time I'm probably gonna just off the bat activate her ability, because she's level 40 and I know just how powerful she is. She can basically knock out buildings in one shot with her ability. So I'm at 150. I'm gonna keep searching, see if I can find anything in the meantime while my camp is filling up. Okay, that's a lot of loot, but obviously I'm not gonna go for it because they're all in the storages, and multi-infernos, definitely avoid multi-infernos, do not mess with them. Unless if they're outside, if there's a multi-inferno that's outside the base, really easy to get, then what you can do is use a lot of your fingers. Like you can use 3 fingers and rapidly spawn your troops, like throw them all out. And what that will basically do is basically overpower that inferno. The inferno is not going to be able to keep up with the amount of troops you're spawning. So yeah, maybe I'll show you that one day. Yeah, maybe in this raid, maybe not. Okay, let's go back. I'm at 198. Let's go back and search. So now I know that I'm only about 40 troops away from a max camp, and that's gonna take about, I would say about like 1 minute, not 1 minute, like about 40 seconds. Actually no, it's gonna be 1 minute because I'm boosting 2 barracks, not 4. So yeah, I'll come back in about after like in about 7 next 7 searches. So this was like the 4th search. Yeah, I'm just mentally just estimating right now, just off of experience. Okay, it's the 6th, and now it's gonna be the 7th. Okay, nothing, so I'm gonna go back, and I should have a full army or close to a full. Okay, right there, 227. Yeah, it's close to full, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be filling up my barracks, and filling out your barracks take a few seconds, and by that time I'm going to have a full army by the time I fill up my barracks. So yeah, you don't always want to just come back right at that point where your camp is full. You want to come back to the point where you can refill your barracks and have a full army, and then start nexting again. And that's exactly what I just did. Obviously, this is quite an unorthodox method of using half your army. I usually don't recommend using half and then beginning your search. It's better to, it's not better, but you can just search with 75% of your army instead. What that does is that gives you a little more troops, and that's usually sometimes significant for such bases where you can't really use half your army to get all the resource. So sometimes it's better to start searching at 75%. And the best time to search at 50% army is when you have your archer queen, because she's just gonna make it much easier to farm with half your troops. A good level archer queen is at least level 20 in my opinion. If she's weaker than that, then start trading her, because a powerful archer queen is gonna help you immensely in farming. So work on her as soon as possible, and as much as possible. So yeah, there's a little bit of lag right now. Storage base, weak wizard towers. Not gonna attack this because I have BAM. I don't have giants. If I had giants right there, I would have attacked it. So as you can see, the lack of versatility of this composition of BAM. Even though it's more efficient, you'll get an army faster, and it's better with 2 barracks, boosting 2 barracks than GBAM, where you have to boost 3 barracks for maximum efficiency. But even though, as you can see, I found a base with just as much resource as that previous base that we just found as a storage base. So I'm going to be making just as much with just BAM, and that's called efficiency. All it required me to do was just next a bit more. It was just allowed me to, all I had to do was just search a little more, and I can find just as much resource I need. I don't have to attack storages, even though I could as well, but I don't really have to. Sending my minions over the walls after I've taken out that air bomb. Archers are gonna need some help. So after the minions have taken out that cannon, they're gonna go for that elixir storage. And it looks like my troops have overpowered him. And the reason for that is because of his weak splash defenses. So I was able to get everything. And I'm not going for trophies, so no point in wasting time just to 3-star this guy. So I got about a total of about 400,000 right there, and that's great. Camp is at 112, and have to wait 4 minutes until I get my Archer Queen. So I'm gonna wait until I have 75% of my camp filled up right now instead of 50%, just because the lack of my Archer Queen. It's just gonna make it harder to get a dead base, even a dead base with just 120 troops. Because I don't want to waste 120 troops just to fail and get a collector raid. Because it takes a while to train 120. But if I have about 170, for example, then I would definitely be able to get a collector. I'll be able to attack a collector base with a bunch of collectors outside the base. So yeah, that's my plan. 142 right now. I'll start nexting at 150 just because I really want to maximize my efficiency. And if I can't really attack that base, then all I have to do is just come back to my base. It doesn't hurt to start searching. So yeah, there's a lot of resource right here, and now the good thing about this base is that he has his collectors on 2 sides. Even though they're inside of the base, they're on 2 sides, on the bottom and the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on the top, remove that town hall out of the way. As you can see, he doesn't have any air attacking defenses right there, so I'm gonna remove that town hall out of the way, and then I'm gonna try to avoid that archer tower if I can. Let's see. Nope, could not. Because the clan castle has a lot of hit points, so it takes a while to take it down, and that's why the clan castle is the most annoying building outside a base. So it took a few more seconds to take it down. Right, and I'm gonna take out that wizard tower and that mortar with my minions, because those are the main threats, as I've mentioned, for your barbarians and archers. And now since I've taken out the town hall on top, I'm gonna try to get the collector right here on top. And now I'm sending my minion right there because no air attacking defenses. The minions are basically gonna be impervious to everything, because defenses can't target them right there. They'll be able to get all the collectors. So yeah, my troops were able to get the collectors, and now I've saved about 22 barbarians for the bottom right here, and my barbarian king. So I'm gonna use those barbarians to shield my king. Barbarians are faster than the king, so they're gonna be walking faster, and that's why they're gonna distract defenses first. Okay, bam, bam, bam. So I'll head out. So I got over 400,000 right there with just 150 troops. And that's excellent. I didn't need to use 240. All I needed was 150. Okay, I'm at 78 right now. So I'm gonna have to wait a bit longer. And it looks like I have 10 more minutes left in this 1 hour session. And currently I have about 1.5 million gold. Obviously it's much more than that since I've spent a lot on nexting. And I've stolen about 5.3. I started with 3.9, so that's 1.4 million. But I've also cooked these troops. It cost about 60,000 elixir to cook a full army of level 7 barge. So yeah, for every raid I'm spending, even though I'm not using all my army troops, I'm still spending about 40 to 50,000 elixir per raid just on these troops. So yeah, even though I'm doing that, I'm still making a lot of resource. In total, I've profited with about 1.5 plus 1.4 here and there, so about 3 million so far in about 50 minutes. So I'm probably gonna end at like maybe 3.5 million in total resource, maybe 4 million if I'm lucky. So yeah, looking at my attack log, as you can see, a lot of 400k total resource, a lot of 300k, 400. Okay, it looks like I have my queen back and I have about half my camp, so I'm just gonna start searching, see if I can get lucky with something. Okay, nothing, so I'm going to quickly come back for a bigger army. Now I have 149, 150. Okay, go back and search. And that's basically what I'll be doing. I'm just going to keep searching. If I can't find anything in a few searches, go back to my camp and go back to my base and get a bigger army. Okay, nothing, so I'm gonna go back. And I have 173. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and search. I'm just gonna keep repeating that. So now that I have over 170 troops, I have enough to deal good enough damage on a collector raid, a dead base basically. Okay, it's a storage base. Definitely not gonna attack because powerful wizard towers, but look here, he has a gold storage right here, and it's a pretty loaded gold storage. And I have my archer queen, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send in a few barbarians to remove the buildings out of the way right here, and then send in my queen. She's gonna focus right on that gold storage right after that air defense. Watch. Ooh. Targeting the gold storage. See if I can get the elixir storage as well without wasting a troop. Nope, she's getting targeted right now. Let's activate her ability. Now she's hitting the wall, so I surrender. So basically I got 100,000 gold right there with only 33 troops. And that's excellent. If you can get that much with just 33 troops, do it all day. Obviously, the Archer Queen doesn't count as a troop because as long as you keep her healthy, as long as you keep her 100%, you can use her unlimitedly. Okay, 199. So yeah, in about 40 seconds, I'm gonna come back to the base. Because my camp is not full, obviously. Alright, here we go. Now I do have enough troops, I have 198, and that's gonna be enough to get this because he has weak defenses. Distract the troops, try to get that gold mine, but my barbarians went the other direction. Doesn't matter. Now I'm just gonna focus on this side because that's where most of the loot is. And before I do that, I'm going to send in my barbarians, my archers, and my minions on that wizard tower to quickly take it out because that's the biggest threat in the way right there. And I'm going to send my barbarians and my archers all spread around. I'm using 3 fingers right now with one hand, and I'm constantly tapping my troops to quickly deploy them. And that's going to be enough to get all of that. And the reason for that is because of the really weak mortars, they're not going to be able to stop my troops from walking. And I'm just gonna get the gold mine right there because I do have enough troops to do so. And then go for the elixir collector right there. Send in my king as well because he can take some hits from my troops. Troops are still going up there. I've gotten everything, so I'm just gonna head out here. I got over 400k again in total, and only used 198 troops for that. So yeah, even without a full army, I was able to get everything. Okay, 88 troops, and it looks like I only have time for one more raid. So yeah, in total I've made about 1.8 plus 1.6, 3.4 million. So yeah, it looks like I'm only gonna be able to make, unless if I can steal 400k in the last raid, that'll get me 4 million. So yeah, I do have enough time to get the 4 million. If not, 3.5 million is good enough. Okay, I get my queen back in about 40 seconds. And my clan castle is full. I have not been using my clan castle at all for the past few raids, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for 7 raids straight, I did not use my clan castle. And when you're not using your clan castle, that's when you know that you're farming efficiently, because you don't have to use your clan castle. Your clan castle should be your last resort. If you find yourself using your clan castle a lot, then you're somehow not farming as efficiently. Okay, at 139, I'm gonna start searching. Alright, nothing, so I'm gonna come back. 162. Okay, I only have 162 troops, but I have both my king and queen, and his wizard towers are really weak. And the reason I'm going to attack this base is because all his storages are all cluttered in that core, and all his defenses are spread outside, which means this is going to be really easy for my heroes, my king and queen, to easily destroy that core. And I'll show you why I'm confident in saying that as my last raid. Okay, even though he has a bomb right there, doesn't matter. Now I can send in my king and queen since I've taken out all the outside buildings out of the way. And here I'm going to use my clan castle because I only have 162 troops. So now add 35 more to it, I have about 200, and that's enough. Now I'm going to use the rage spell. I do have a heal spell if I need it. I'm probably not, because his core is really weak. As you can see, his point defenses, as I've stated, the archer towers, cannons, Teslas are the defenses that do real damage to heroes. And since he has those all on the outside of the base, it's really easy for my heroes to walk around this base. So I'm just gonna wait for my troops to get that gold storage, and I'm gonna head out. So there we go, 4 million in 1 hour. And I got over 400k in that one, so I made a total of about 4 million total gold and elixir, and made about 5,000 dark elixir, as I was focusing mainly on gold and elixir. And this was with only 2 barracks, with the army composition of barbarians, archers, and minions. So hopefully you guys learned a lot. I apologize if there was anything confusing. I will clarify everything in the gold and elixir guide that I'm making. I'll be working more on that in the future, and we'll try to have daily updates on that guide as well. So be sure to check it out. And thanks for watching, and have a nice day.